What's up, goobers? Okay, so for today's stream, I guess that I'm going to be talking about Pearl Graphics, which is this completely custom VTuber suite that I've been working on for several years. Well, does 5 count as several? I've been working on it since 2000-ish, and I'm still adding lots of features to it. And so, yeah, there's a lot going on with this setup. I actually wrote a bunch of notes to make sure I wanted to hit all the points about this software and all the features. But yeah, so let's see. I think I want to start at the beginning of the software, how it looked like in 2020. So let me go switch over to a video that I cut. Avatar view. Oh, and so something interesting that you'll see is I actually have my Stream Deck in the upper right corner being broadcasted, so you can see like what the different pages are that's going on there. But yeah, so I started this in 2020. I wanted to prototype some stuff, some like interactions on like between, I guess, streamers and people in chat and stuff, and also kind of work with dynamic mocap avatars, since I actually worked on that in my previous job, and that was really fun. But I actually wanted to experiment on my own, past the stuff that like would pass like needing approval from, I guess, project managers and stuff, and just kind of go nuts on whatever I wanted to work on. And so the first version of this, it was primarily used for me showing off like DJ performances, but in like a video feed, and with this mocap avatar. And so you can see it's pretty shaky and pretty janky. I was using a Kinect V2. That's the Xbox One Kinect, and it worked pretty well for the specific use case where I was in the back of my office, behind the DJ decks. I didn't need the feet to be tracked at all because it'd be behind the DJ decks and stuff. I just really needed like the upper half of my body and face to be tracked. And I was also using the iPhone with ARKit for the face tracking, including sending that data over what is OSC, which is like a protocol to basically just stream any kind of arbitrary smaller amounts of data that you want to, like MIDI controllers and like face blend shapes and stuff. And so yeah, this was the first iteration of Pearl Graphics. You can also see like an early version of my avatar where there's nothing really, anything kind of crazy going on. There's my old logo. The DJ booth, you can actually see that there's like a screen here, and eventually it gets to like a camera view where it shows the view pretty well. But yeah, the cameras are automatically switching. I gave it like a UI that shows like the raw sensor data, the current FPS, how much memory is being used, and also just like some system logs live, like that beer was equipped and unequipped, and headphones have been equipped and unequipped, and the time, which, wow, I did this at 3:43 a.m. And it also rotated through my social media, and there was a display of the chat also up here, which is kind of funny because I put like a actually working chat interface kind of in that same area. But yeah, let's see. Oh, the cameras, they'd rotate around like, I think between every 2 to 8 seconds, and I used a lot of Brownian motion on that. But yeah, you can see that the tracking, it's really terrible. I knew that if I wanted to pick this up again, then I would need a better solution than the Kinect V2. And so, yeah, I don't think I touched this for like maybe 3-ish years, but then I started becoming kind of curious about like wanting to stream not just like DJ sets, but also just kind of presenting different types of content. let me go skip over to, like, I think, yeah, so this was another venue that I had in there, and I think I was ringing in 2021. I also had technology for custom tongues and stuff to just stick out whenever my real life one was sticking out. But yeah, so I had a video feed going on from, like, I think a second laptop that was just playing, like, all these videos of, like, anime girls dancing and stuff. Why is my tongue, like, stuck in that? Oh, you can see the DJ software view in here. But yeah, I didn't have the overlay in this one. The environment was made in Tilt Brush, and I think I just kind of found the DJ controller and the turntable models, just kind of random parts of the internet. Okay, now the tongue is back. But yeah, so that was how I was using it for DJ sets. I turned the sound off because there's, like, copyrighted music in here, so I didn't want this to get, like, blocked. But yeah, so let's skip ahead to here. So this was a video that I made, I think, 2-ish years ago. I did make changes to my avatar, and one of the features that I had was so I have, like, this emissive layer on the meshes, and it actually changes colors depending on my mood, which was detected by the iPhone face tracking stuff. And so if I was, like, happy, it would, like, become, like, pinkish. If I was, like, just kind of normal and just kind of vibing, it'd be bluish. I forgot what green was, but green was something good. I think it was green when I smile. And then it'd, like, turn red when I get, like, angry, which is, like, making, like, a puffy face, like... But yeah, that's a feature that I really want to bring back. Also, I think if chat was able to type in, like, !rainbow or something, then it would set my RGB to just, like, start cycling through a bunch of colors. So yeah, that was really fun. But yeah, so the technology that I had in the older version, it was Connect V2 for the body, iPhone 11 ARKit for face tracking over OSC. It had dynamic lights, audio reactivity, automatic change of cameras on a timer, video input, multiple stages. I could display my DJ software inside of it, had chat integration, and I had that UI showing up. And, but yeah, it also was pretty cursed. Like, this was a Vroid that I tried to model myself, and I'm not a good 3D model. Well, okay, I think I'm pretty competent at, like, CAD for, like, robots and stuff, but, like, mesh modeling and organics are, like, completely different. And I barely know anything about, like, rigging, and I barely know enough about animation to get by for, like, coding cutscenes and stuff in the various games I've worked on. But yeah, I commissioned this design from Keen Coast. Her art's really good. That's why I went for it instead of trying to DIY my own model again. Also, fun fact, the Connect V2, when you're using it on a PC, it actually freaks out whenever you have a screen refresh rate over 60 Hertz. So it's not very friendly with, like, modern stuff, I guess. But yeah, so let's see. I think, yeah, that's pretty much all of the cool stuff from the old version of Pearl Graphics. And so we're gonna go back to this office view. And yeah, so here I am now, 2025, in this, I guess, first-ish version of Pearl Graphics. Well, no, this is, I guess, the second-ish version then. And I'll be going through lots of upgrades and features, because there's lots of stuff I want to do with it. But let's see. So now, instead of using the Connect V2, I'm using 6 Steam VR trackers. 2 on my feet, 2 on my wrists, 1 on my back or front. I can actually change where it goes. And 1 that's on the back of my head. And I can also use the Valve Index controllers for finger tracking, although I want to demo that towards the end because I still haven't fixed that issue, where when I turn it on I start getting like random USB dropouts, and that starts messing with everything else. But yeah, I have 3 lighthouses. There's one over there. Actually, let me go change something. Do I have a point finger? Yeah, I do. So yeah, there's one over there, there's one there, and there's one there. And that gives me pretty full coverage of everything that, I guess, everywhere that I'd normally be streaming from. So yeah, and instead of an iPhone 11, I now have an iPhone 15 Pro. To be honest, I wanted to upgrade to that pretty quickly once USB-C came out on iPhones, but like, the iPhone 11 was working pretty well, though. There's, like, nothing wrong with it, but I just really, really wanted USB-C, and I also was going on a trip right before I upgraded it, or right after I upgraded it, so I wanted, like, the super nice cameras to take pictures. But yeah, the Connect V2 input has been deprecated. It's not accurate in, like... So, it only really tracked okay-ish from like back here, and so, well, just for reference, the Kinect was like here-ish, like right above my monitors, and so because it had like this like kind of like field of view that was like pretty narrow and stuff, it only really worked pretty well-ish, or at least good enough back here, which is like where my DJ booth is. But it would not have been a good idea to use like if I was trying to be at my or at my workbench, or if I was at my desk. I actually had a mode where it would use only the face tracking. I had set up like my iPhone on my desk. I set up my iPhone on my desk, and so it could actually track like head rotation and head position also at the same time as like your face and stuff. So yeah, I had a desk mode where if I was just sitting at my desk, it wouldn't use the Kinect at all. It would just, it just kind of tracked me, just my upper body and face alone, no hand tracking. But yeah, everything runs on Unity. I forgot if I mentioned that, but yeah, it's been Unity based since the start. The current version, I think I'm on Unity 6 right now. I learned that, whoa, that was a weird, yeah, mocap still isn't perfect, and yeah, so weird glitches like that will still happen. But yeah, I'm using Unity 6.0 since they dropped the like weird runtime cost thingy, which was like really controversial. I was like, okay, I'll go try out the new Unity versions, but it's kind of weird because they went like their numbering. It was like Unity 4, Unity 5, and then it was like Unity 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. 2021, 2022, and I forgot when, but at some point, I think it was probably 2023 or so, they just switched over back to like Unity 6. So, yeah. Let's see. So, I guess speaking of trackers, I'm gonna go to my Stream Deck, and so I have, I can configure the trackers on the fly. You're able to see this up in the, what's it called, top left corner. There's a projection of what my Stream Deck looks like right now. And I also actually have a interface on here. I'm trying to remember what the hotkey for that was. Was it M? Yeah, M for mocap. And so I can change the configuration of if my hands are going to be tracking with my wrists, or if I'm going to be like wearing wrist trackers, or if I'm going to use the index controllers, or if I'm just not going to use them at all. And it's supposed to put my hands just kind of at my hips, but it's kind of faulty. I can also set my waist tracker to be in the back or the front, or I can also disable it, and then it creates a dummy tracker where my... Actually, I'm just going to go disable this view real quick. So, like, when I'm not using a waist tracker, it's actually using my head tracker position, which is the only required tracker right now to operate this. I could totally stream without it at all. And so it like use the position of the head and the rotation of it, and it would kind of make, like, I guess a fake dummy tracker for the waist tracking, so that, like, it could guess where the waist was depending on how my head was like. And so I'm actually gonna go disable that on the fly right now. So let's set it to disabled. And so, yeah, right now I'm not using waist tracking. I'm flicking the tracker and it's not doing anything. But if I, like, move my head around it, it guesses that my spine is actually bending also. And so it's like, when my head's tilted like this, then it's taking, I guess, the height and, like, it's applying a delta to it, but it shrinks the delta a little bit just to account for, like, me bending over and stuff. And does it work when I'm, like, going forward? No, it doesn't work forward and backwards. I should work on that. But yeah, and so it still looks pretty competent, I guess, when there's no waist tracking. And depending on what I'm doing, I can also set my waist tracker to be, like, normally it's on my back, and I'm actually, like, sitting in a kneeling chair most of the time when I'm streaming, because, like, the tracker would get in the way of, like, the back of the, or I guess the back of the chair would get in the way of the tracker. But yeah, I can also set it to the front. Sometimes it tracks a bit better in the front. Like, I guess if I'm just, like, doing a VR stream or something in the middle of this office, that the front tracking actually works a little bit better. So let me go show what happens when I set that. Yeah, my avatar gets all weird and twisted, because right now the tracker is actually in the back, but it's set to front. But I just need to spin it around, and everything works the way that should. Let's see, feet tracking. It's enabled right now. I'll go disable that. And so, yeah, you can see that's not moving around. There's actually something, I'm using Final IK for my inverse kinematics, which is basically, like, if you have, like, say 6 trackers like I do right now, then you can figure out a good guess of where the other bones in the body are. It's something that's used a lot in animation and in robotics. And so Final IK actually has a mode where it can, like, walk for me. I had to disable it to get some other stuff working, but I do want to re-enable that, because, like, it's kind of like floating and skating around it's kind of weird. But let me go re-enable that. Yeah. So yeah, I showed that. Let me see if the hand tracking yeah, so I disabled my hand trackers, and so now they're kind of at rest around my waist, like, flopping my arms around, and you can't see them move around. I figure that's kind of useful if I'm just, like, at my desk or something, and I don't want to deal with my trackers, like, losing sight of the lighthouses, or if I'm, like, doing a really sensitive workbench stream, and, like, I just don't want the wrist trackers to, like, get in the way of stuff, or, like, get caught on things. So it's pretty useful for that. Yeah, and so I would show off the finger tracking right now, except that, again, it's causing, like, some USB dropouts. So, yeah, I'm gonna just set this all back to normal. Oh, wait, that's in the front right now. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, we're back. And let me go show what the, some of the hardware is. And because I have to take off my mocap stuff, it's going to obviously make my avatar really wonky. But yeah, let's switch to the avatar view. Okay, so that's just the video. Is Workbench working? Yeah, it is. So, oh, JJ is here. JJ is my cat. So yeah, I have a mocap tracker, Steam VR tracker, on some old Crocs, and I 3D printed, like, this adapter. And yeah, and what else? This is the head tracking rig, which we actually did a stream a couple weeks ago where I was iterating on this, specifically the battery balance part. And right now, I think that battery's in a pretty good position. I'm not getting the same kind of, like, neck strain that I was before, when the battery was kind of further up and when the tracker was up on my forehead instead of the back of the head. This tracker was moved to the back of the head so that, like, so that would improve the balance since the iPhone is sticking out so much and has so much leverage that I guess it's acting heavier than, like, even this heavier battery is, being not as far away from, like, the pivot point of my neck. So yeah, I'm gonna put the mocap stuff back on. Okay, JJ, you're in the middle of my area. It's a good thing I'm not in VR, because when that happens, I'm like, I don't let the cats in the room because I don't want to, like, accidentally step on them when I'm in VR. But yeah, let's go back to the office view. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's Steam VR. We have the UI to enable and disable it. Automatic chair technology. So, depending on the height of my waist tracker, a chair is supposed to automatically pop up underneath me. Yeah. And what? Oh yeah, there's a cool thing where if my feet trackers are disabled, and it actually works better if I'm sideways, then, like, it actually moves the feet, the dummy trackers on there, kind of using the same technique that I was talking about with the waist, so that the knees bend the way that you'd expect them to, and the feet are in a position that you can expect them to be in. But yeah, I just kind of like doing squats there instead of, like, actually sitting in a chair, just because, like, my real chairs are pushed to the back of the office. But yeah, so speaking of the hands, I was talking about how the index controllers, they aren't the best at finger tracking, and I'm having those issues with, I guess, them causing some USB dropouts. I need to drink some water real quick. Oh, JJ, don't chew on that. He's chewing on my Crocs. So yeah, we can actually go to this menu on the Stream Deck. There's not a UI for it yet in the in Pearl graphics, but there's a Stream Deck interface, and so I have all these different hand gestures, which I think I showed that before. Like, I have a thumbs up or a gig'em. I have a peace sign. I have pointing, which I actually used when I was showing where the different lighthouses are, and have this rude gesture. But yeah, I can set that on both hands. Whee! Where's my foot? Okay, I think it was, like, underneath the futon, so, like, it was getting kind of lost. I'm like moving around really weird because my cat is literally here in the middle of my space. He's so cute. But yeah, in addition to having the hand tracking, or having the manual finger poses on the hands, what I can also do is I can put on props. So you saw this in one of the videos I did a couple weeks ago where I had, like, bananas in my hand. And I've also shown off the water bottles, which I actually want to do a thing where, like, if I'm let me hold my real life water bottle. So it's gonna be in this hand. So it's lined up against my mouth in real life, but it's not working in this. It's, like, obviously missing. So I kind of want to, like, do a thing where it automatically orients the water bottle so that it's aligned with my mouth. With my avatar's mouth. I almost tripped on another pair of Crocs. Yeah. What else? I have beer. Yeah, I have some pew-pews. Pew 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 pew. Yeah. So that's the hand track. Oh, also I did want to show that, like, the when I'm holding a prop, the hands are actually posed to grab those props properly. Yeah, that was pretty fun to figure out. I like wrote a Unity editor script that like would just kind of capture the bone rotations, and it would also like reverse it if it was on like the other hand and stuff. Yeah, this one's pretty cool because it's like it's lined up differently from the other ones. Yeah, I've been seeing a bunch of like reels of like VTubers like rapping and stuff, and they're like, holding all these guns and stuff, and it looks really cool and stuff. So I was pretty inspired by that. So what next? Yeah. So related to the hand props, I have different outfits. Or well, I only really have this base outfit, but I can configure it for different things I can take on and off. Yeah, so starting with this, I can take off my glasses, I can put on my glasses, I can replace the lenses with some sunshades, and I can put on a VR headset. Let's see, I can also take off my jacket, and here you can actually see this detail of like battle damage that's actually reflecting like a real scar that I have there. Let's see. Take off the shorts, but maybe not too much. Let's see, we can take on and off the belt stuff. Although it only really works, it's kind of buggy right now where like it only really works when I have the jacket on. I need to fix that still. I can take off my boots if the camera wants to change. Yeah, there you go. And I have them set to like different presets also, so I can just like enable and disable all of those different outfit options. Whoa, dogs are still out. Okay, there. But yeah, I can change everything at once using the presets also. And so yeah, so with the VR stuff, let's put the VR headset on, although I'm not actually in VR. So one issue with doing the VR streams is that I can't actually use the face tracking because the headset's in the way, and like when the headset's in the way, then the iPhone face tracking just doesn't even like recognize that it's a face it's trying to track. Bless me. And so what I have here, if you can see on the Stream Deck interface, there's actually two buttons. There's like a microphone head and then Apple head. So the Apple head is what's going on right now using the iPhone for the face tracking. And so if I switch over to the microphone, then I'm using the microphone to actually change my mouth expression. Yeah, it's not as dynamic as like the Apple one. Let me show what that looks like. Yeah, so this is more dynamic. I can make all these funny mouth shapes. But this one's just based off of microphone volume. But it's better than nothing, and if I actually switch to like my normal eyes, whoa, wait a second. Test 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, there we go. So yeah, so we're back on the microphone face mode. So I'm blinking my eyes and I'm doing like other facial expression things, but it's only changing my mouth. Oh yeah, so something that you notice is my RGB all over my body and outfit. It actually responds to the volume of my voice, just like the mouth controls. Yeah, so that's meant to work with the VR headset stuff. And speaking of the face tracking stuff, I'm actually going to take my glasses off just so that I can see it a bit better. So the face menu, I went over the how I can have like the iPhone face tracking mode. Yeah, we're back. I can blink and stuff. I can stick out my tongue. And so I can also set my facial expressions completely manually. That's what the top row of the Stream Deck interface is. So right now, nothing's moving around. Okay, JJ just moved to the futon, so I can go back to the center of my area. But yeah, if you're wondering why the face isn't moving at all, yeah, that's because I have it set to neutral right now, and I can also change it to smiling. Although something's kind of crazy with those teeth. I think I exaggerated a certain blunt shape too much. I can set sad, I can set angry, happy, and surprised. I'm actually gonna put my glasses back on. It's weird looking at myself without glasses, even my virtual self. Where's the outfit manager there? There's like so many buttons that I'm getting lost in my own interface. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Oh, there's kind of a weird quirk though, where like I have to set the face to neutral and then make my own face neutral, and then set it back to the iPhone mode, or else things just get kind of out of whack. But yeah, so I'm just gonna run through the faces again, the manual faces, but with my glasses on. So this is neutral, and this is smiling. It's kind of weird. This is sad, angry, happy, and surprised. But yeah, let's make a neutral face IRL, and then this should be back to normal. So yeah, that's the custom face stuff. Let's see. Yeah, the manual face stuff is actually pretty useful for like making thumbnails. Let's see. What's next? So lighting. I also have dynamic lighting. So first I can just set these lights to different presets that are static. So like this is just the normal mode, which is warm white. Then I can set the lights to purple, which I often do in real life. Alexa, set lights to purple. Alexa, set lights to purple. There we go. I can also turn the lights off, and lights being off, it really emphasizes the mission effect going on. But yeah. And so, why do I have a nose congestion? Anyway, so yeah, I can also set strobe warning. It's about to strobe for like a few seconds. I can set my lights to strobe. And I can also make my lights flicker, which I'd actually really like to figure out what the algorithm is that I think was used in like Half-Life or something that like everyone else uses for like flickering. But yeah, so this is the light flickering stuff. And also I can make the lights breathe in like kind of a sine wave. And I can adjust the period and the I can adjust the period of it. I can adjust the I guess the kind of like min and max of it. It can actually bounce between like two different colors if I want to. And so I just set these as like presets that are in the Stream Deck. And so, oh yeah, I'm using a bunch of hotkeys for the Stream Deck. I'm using like weird combinations like left control and right shift and like anything between F13 to F24. And so yeah, almost all of the changes that are going on, they're going, or almost all the Stream Deck commands to this Unity app are using hotkeys. And there's like some global hotkey library that I'm using so that I don't have to have the app focus to actually use those hotkeys. But yeah, so let's set lights back to normal. Yeah, the cameras. So you've been seeing it a lot already, but I'm not touching the camera controls at all. Everything is just changing automatically. When I get close to my computer desk, then it switches like this kind of up close mode, which has like this nice like camera, the defocus effect in the back and stuff. When I step into the center, then we have like this full body view. When I get to my workbench, then yeah, this is like my real life workbench, and it's mapped out there. We did that 3D printing repair stream, and so my real life 3D printers are where those sci-fi-ish ones are. And I also have a futon here in real life, and it switches to this camera, which I think actually tracks my face. And you can't see him right now, but my cat is here. But yeah, that's all completely automatic. And if we go into my avatar view, then yeah, it'll also switch that stuff automatically. Like, so I'm at my computer right now, and you're seeing my main monitor's view. And oh yeah, so there's actually 2 buttons on the Stream Deck. I don't know how to get my mouse to show on this, but like they're towards the bottom left next to the home button. And so I have an ultra wide as my main monitor, but videos aren't in ultra wide aspect ratio. They're just like 16:9. So I have these hotkeys that actually set my main monitor to 16:9 when I'm streaming. But yeah, so if I'm here, then it shows a view of what's on my screen. And when I move to my workbench, then we see the workbench view with this GoPro up here. So that's all also automatic. And then let's see, there's also a camera called the drivable camera. And to access that, actually, first let me show this. So I said that everything was automatic, but I can also make it not automatic. What's up, Tremel? Yeah, thanks for joining. We can make the cameras manually controlled. So if you look at the camera icons on the Stream Deck view, then you can see that there's like a previous and a next button. And so this is just cycling through different cameras. And this one camera is called the drivable camera. This one's really fun because it lets me manually control the view. So yeah, you can probably hear my keyboard. I am piloting, and so this actually is representative of like my real life setup. And so I'm running Pearl graphics, or I'm showing Pearl graphics on like the big TV on the wall. And this is the one that I was talking about being like my main monitor, and this is my vertical monitor on the side. But yeah. So what was he talking about? Oh yeah, so this is the drivable camera. I can change the angles. I can rotate around. I can turn on Brownian motion. So then that kind of makes it look all natural, like a person is actually holding it manually. Let's turn that off. What else? Oh, I can also toggle a look at, which at the moment it's hard set to my head. But yeah, basically the camera can float anywhere, and it'll just be stuck looking at my head the whole time, no matter where I go. And we can combine these effects together also, like the Brownian motion. Zoom in on this stuff. But yeah, so that's the drivable camera. Oh, that's weird. You can't actually see the drivable camera text on here. I wonder if I zoomed in. Let me check. Oh, that's why you can't see it. It's because I zoomed in. Let me reset the transform. Reset transform. There we go. Okay, so yeah, now you can see the thing that says drivable camera. Oh, I need to transition over to it. Yeah, there. So yeah, you can see the drivable camera controls now. But yeah, let's set this back to automatic. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Wait, it's automatic. And so everything's running on, I think called hysteresis, where like, just so that like if I'm on the border of like being at my desk versus like in the center, it doesn't like flicker. It has like a cooldown of like, it can only change like I think once every 2 seconds. But that I need to adjust that so that it can what's it called? I need to adjust that because sometimes it lags behind too much. But yeah, there's some other things that I want to do, like maybe if I'm looking towards this direction where like towards here where my 3D printers are, maybe it shows like a view of the 3D printer cameras. Yeah, sky's the limit with what I can do with OBS and Unity. What else with the cameras? Yeah, I think that's all the stuff with the cameras. And so, yeah, that's actually a really good segue the magical girl transformation. So I don't have that yet, but I do have something that lets me support that feature pretty well. And so, let's see. There's this thing that I have called... oh yeah, the camera manual... the camera menu isn't really fleshed out, because there's not that much on there. But yeah, so there's this thing called... I call them stages. And, so this environment, it's pretty cool, but it doesn't have too much going on in here. And so, what I can do is I can bring up this UI, and it actually lets me configure different stages inside of here. And so these test stages are really, really lame, but they're just here to like show what's going on. So this red ball that's like floating around, and it's supposed to move around randomly, but it's totally just following me around. Yeah, it's not like an animation or a sequence. It's just doing its own thing, kind of passively. And so yeah, I call that a passive stage. And I can actually stack as many passive stages as I want to. And let's turn this back on. Let's turn that off. And so there's another kind of stage I have called a sequence. And so this, this box is supposed to move from here to here and then stop. And that shows you the progress of the animation. So it's very boring, but it's a really good test. And so I can control that with the Stream Deck also. And so you should see it start to move and then stop. Yeah. And so I can reset this animation and I can play it again. I can stick my tongue out. And I have additional controls here, so I can tear down everything if I want to, just to completely clean it up. And complete brings it to the end of the sequence right away, and reset brings it to the beginning. And we can make it loop. We can make it loop on a delay where like it does its thing and then it stops for like 5 seconds and then it resets and then does its thing again. And we can just we can also just turn it off. So let me show how that works. Yeah, so this should be looping just kind of endlessly now. This gigantic cube of cheese. And then let's set it to loop on delay. And so it's gonna get to the end. Wait. What? Okay. That was weird. It didn't work the first time, but in like a few seconds it's gonna reset. There we go. Yeah, this is like a brand new feature, so it's a little scuffed. But yeah, and then I can just, let me show, so I can stack as many passive stages as I want to, but I can only have one active sequence at a time. But yeah, let's put the weird sphere and the cube back in. And so if I press the trash can button, that should make both of them disappear. And let's show the zombies. So this was actually something I set up for my Halloween stream when I was playing like a zombie game. And yeah, I wanted to be able to like turn these on and off, and not have to like make specific builds. It's like, okay, this is the zombie build. This is the build that has the waking up cinematic, etc. And so this now lets me just have these things turned on and off, or I want to, without having to make a new build. Yeah. And so let me show, this can also be used inside my avatar view. So normally you see this view, which is like when I'm in the avatar mode, which is like it's either going to be at my computer or it's going to be at my workbench. But if I manually set this scene, which I should probably have a hotkey for, then yeah, I can set up stages. Where's my stages button? I'm like getting so lost in my interface. So this is what I use for my Panda Fest announcement. If it wants to click there. Oh, okay, that's weird. There's like a... No! It's glitching out. Because, like, this is actually a really super beefy scene. Or a really beefy stage. Okay, I'm actually just gonna reset this to the office view, because I think cycling this on and off was kind of a bad idea. Okay, we're going back to the avatar view, switching to the Office Direct feed view. Press the UI button, click this once. There we go. I don't know why it's so chunky right now. Okay, well, we're gonna go fall back on, just showing the video clip of it. Or let me go show the other cinematics. So, there's a sequence, in my debut when I woke up. And so, this is a good candidate to use as, like, one of the sequence stages. So here I'm like sitting in like some kind of Netrunner chair asset, and then lights turn on, and then my body starts shaking violently while the lights get super duper duper bright and explodes. And then this is actually kind of where I messed up. Yeah, I was supposed to have my IRL self like back here, and then like just kind of pop up through the smoke, but instead I watched it too hard, and then I just appeared in front of it, which is kind of scuffed, but whatever. But yeah, that's something that could definitely be packaged as a sequence. And then there is this, my debut delay announcement, where I push a button and then everything shuts off, and then the breathing lights happen and everything's on fire. So I want to set those up as I want to set this one up at least as like a passive stage, just kind of looping, and then I want to set up the waking up sequence as like an active stage. Yeah, so my computer's actually not that beefy. It's a Framework 13. I did spec it out all the way, but it's still a laptop. And it's connected to a eGPU, which has a 3080 in it, so it's not a slouch, but it's also not super duper powerful either. I actually do want to be able to get this to run on my old laptop, which has like a 1660, and I think like just kind of some mid-range i5 from like 2018, so that like I can actually play like really chonky games on my Framework with the eGPU, and then like run all this like VR mocap stuff on the older laptop so it's not like bogging it down. But yeah, so those are all the features that I have so far in this. And so feature roadmap. Yeah, I'm still gonna be making lots of upgrades to this. There's lots of stuff I want to do with this. So the props that I was talking about, yeah, with the water bottle stuff, I want it so that like, let me go grab my IRL one. So I'm holding a real life water bottle at the same time, but it's not the same angle. And if I bring it up to my mouth, I'm drinking, or this is where it would be if I'm drinking the water in real life, but like, it's obviously not in the right place on my avatar. So I want it so that like, when it's brought pretty close to my face, it automatically aligns the mouth of the bottle to there. And I also want to do that with the beer also, but I mean, it looked kind of funny though, but like, yeah. And so in addition to that, I want to have tracked props that have their own trackers on them. It could be a water bottle or like a beer bottle or something. It could be my DJ booth, which is movable, so like when it's when I roll it out, then it's actually placed where it is in real life, virtually too. But yeah, I also mentioned my cat. So JJ, he's being really cute, and he's sleeping on my futon, but you can't see him because he hasn't been programmed in yet. And so I actually want to develop like a collar thing with like probably Bluetooth Low Energy, maybe RFID. I haven't really done too much research on it yet, but I want to add some kind of like a wireless beacon that sits on the cat's collars, and whenever they enter my office, I want them to like show up. It'd be even cooler if I could tell if he's like hanging out on my futon in the middle of the room or just in the back somewhere. But yeah, I want to have pet tracking, which I'm actually waiting to start developing that feature to do like a debut of the cats. But yeah, I play lots of I want to play lots of DDR in Beat Saber. I used to a lot, not as much anymore, but I want to get back into it because yeah, it keeps me healthy and stuff, and it's fun. But yeah, I want to have like a DDR pad in here and have it like whenever I'm like stepping on a panel, then it actually glows in the app at the same time. I need to check if there's like some weird exclusivity issues with like, oh, a gamepad can only play with one game at a time. I also could just like map it as like both a keyboard and a gamepad or something, or like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Yeah, it'd be sweet if I had like a DDR pad in here that like actually reacted to stuff. Let's see. Yeah, so I was also talking about how like I had all those features on the first version of Pearl Graphics for the DJing stuff that had like the audio reactive lights everywhere instead of just on like my outfit. And also like audio reactive like bass shaking the camera and the VJ feeds and all that stuff. I want to get that set back up again and eventually start to do like DJing streams again. Let's see. Oh, so the, yeah, so I guess we're kind of ending near the end of the stream. Wow, it's only been 1 hour? I thought this would be a longer stream. But now I can actually show off the finger tracking on the index controllers. Which I've been waiting for the end because it's kind of risky. But let me go turn those on. And then let's go back to the, actually let's just show the UI. So yeah, set this to hands. Cool. So yeah, I have finger tracking, but it's not that great. Right now I'm DJing on a DDJ 1000. Yeah, I've had that for like, I want to say 6 years now, and it's still really solid. Oh gosh, my pinky is like really messed up on that. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, the Steam VR, or the index tracking, finger tracking is not that great, and let me see if, it may have been because I actually had my hands, like, curled at the start, I don't know, but, yeah, oh no, that's the wrong setting. Let me set it, okay, so let's set it disabled, tracker, and then index. Okay, yeah, it's clearly messed up right now, but, yeah, something I want to do is, when my hands are, like, trying to make a pose, then it just, like, so, whoa, that was weird. So, like, I'm trying to do the peace sign with this hand, but it's definitely not doing that, so I want to figure out how to make it, like, detect I'm trying to do the peace sign, so it'll just automatically make my hand, oh wait, I forgot, it's not, I can't set it manually while it's set to that tracking mode. Okay. So I want it so that, like, if I'm doing a peace sign, then it tries to do it, it tries to match it to, like, a pre-programmed gesture. But, yeah, what else? I want to restore the RGB outfit emission, just so that, like, it can detect what my mood is, and then, like, just change the coloring accordingly. What else? I want to implement chat inside of the engine instead of, like, this overlay. So, like, when I'm in this view, you can see, like, maybe chats on this wall here or something. And, I mentioned the, goobers, the gray goobers, the fan base mascot. And so, it'd be pretty cool if, like, let's say that there's, like, a bunch of people watching, like, let's say there's, like, I don't know, 20 people watching, then, like, they'll have, like, little representations of themselves just kind of, like, bouncing around inside the office with, like, their usernames floating above it. But yeah, that's I guess that's a review of all the features I have right now on Pearl Graphics. I still want to figure out how to improve the tracking, because like just every once in a while something just like kind of glitches out, like what's happening right now. But yeah, okay, so I'm not in index tracking mode. I'm just on the wrist tracking mode. Yeah, I thought the stream would be longer, but I guess it's only an hour today? Okay, well, yeah, that was Pearl Graphics, and I'm gonna be making lots of upgrades to this, so yeah, I guess I'll see y'all, logging off. Oh, is all my tracking in front of you or all around? Oh, what do you mean by that exactly? I get to extend the stream. It feels too short, so I'm answering questions. If I think you're asking what I think you're asking, then like I'm just gonna move around like all of the trackable space in here. Well, not all of it, because like there's like some boxes and like chairs and stuff in the way. But like I can float around most of the area. I can't sit there because JJ is there, but I can sit next to him. Whee! Yeah. Oh, so there's this fridge here. I'm gonna go switch it to the drivable camera. There we go. So there's like this fridge, and I want to add more things in here other than just Modelo and Shiner. There's actually lots of stuff that I want to replace over time eventually. Like, I actually do have a Blahage there. It'd be cool if I could replace like these 3D printer models with like my actual 3D printers. My iPad sits where this monitor is. Down here, the stack of monitors is actually another 3D printer IRL. I could probably make that a lot more realistic, and I don't have like whatever this vise is here. I also want to make my workbench more accurate. I'm gonna reset it because it's like tilted in some weird way. Yeah, I want to make the workbench more accurate with the actual tools that are there, but it's a good start at the moment. I have a bunch of like anime figures, so it'd be cool if I put them there. What else? A lot of the posters in here are not ones that I have in real life because they're like licensed, like from like Ghost in the Shell and like Hatsune Miku and like Konosuba and stuff. So just to avoid like copyright issues, I just replaced them with like me and my robots and stuff. Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, the back of this, there's like a server room for some reason, a bunch of boxes, but really it's just like a bunch of like random parts and like chemicals and like paint and more tools and stuff. So if I could get that to be more realistic, and this here is where my DJ booth should actually be. But yeah, that's oh, this filament tower does often exist in real life. But yeah, I'm gonna be replacing the assets in here over time, just to make it more accurate. Yeah, I guess that's all the features that I have in here. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Oh wait, let me go change the camera. Automatic. Okay, yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for tuning in. It was really fun showing this off because I just really like the features in here, and I'm gonna be adding a lot more. Yeah. Cool. Alright, well, I'm logging off. Bye!